What's going on, guys? I'm back with another video on the Xterra. Seems like one thing breaks and then a bunch of other things decide that they want to break too. So last time I worked on this was like maybe a month ago. I did the front hub assemblies, and now it started making a loud bearing noise, and that is the alternator. The alternator went bad on this thing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I was watching a video on it to see if how hard it was, try and see how to do it if I've never done it before. And I checked on Mitchell on Demand too, just to see if it like went together. But there's a lot of people that say it's really hard, and I looked on Mitchell on Demand. It said it's only like 2 hours to do, so it can't be that bad. I think some people just, the people that try and do it, maybe they just don't work on cars like we do on the daily. So we're gonna be doing today. Alright, so from what I can tell, the first things we gotta do, we gotta take off this airbox. To take off this airbox, you gotta take off this engine cover. And then once you get that off, I think we're gonna have to take off the fan shroud and the fan to get access to the alternator. So we'll get to do it. Alright guys, now that we got all that taken apart, which was pretty easy, we had two 10mm bolts on each side. There were a few clips on the passenger side for like a harness that had to be taken off. The fan with the fan clutch, that gets unbolted. It's just 4 10mm bolts. Once you have that unbolted, you can slide everything up. I took the fan out first, once I got it up high enough, and then I took the shroud out. So now we can take the belt off. And one thing where I had screwed up is originally I heard this sound and I thought it was the tensioner, but what I saw when I was checking it was the tensioner was bouncing. So I was like, oh well, it's got to be the tensioner. I see this thing bouncing around every time it made the noise. So I changed the tensioner, changed the belt, and then the noise got worse, and that's where we're at now. And once we get the belt taken off, I can show you how bad the alternator is. But when I really once the noise got worse, I was able to see that the alternator was, the pulley was wobbling whenever I made that noise. So we'll take this belt off. And now that we have the belt off, let's check this out. See how, holy crap. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Maybe once I get it all the way out, I can show what it sounds like. We got 14mm bolt there, and then a 12, and I believe another 12 at the bottom. It looks only like 3 bolts we got to take off. And then of course, now that we're here, I probably should have done this at the beginning, but we'll take off, disconnect the battery, that way we don't hit a ground when we start to take the alternator out. okay. Either my alternator started to bleed or I got cut somewhere. I got cut. Let's see if you can hear that. I don't know why I can't get it to do it now, but I swear when I looked at it, this would randomly just go caca, caca, like just side to side. And I'm assuming when this did that, the tensioner did the same thing and it would bounce around. That's when I thought that it was the tensioner. And crazy thing is that after I replaced the tensioner, it didn't make a sound probably until I was almost home, and it takes me about an hour to get home, maybe a little less, but I don't know. Once I got home, it started making the noise again. I didn't really worry about it until it started to make the noise really bad, and then it was time to change this thing. But then it was still charging fine too. It was just that sound. Yeah. So now I gotta go get the other one.